Alright, what's up everybody? Brian here, and this is my WWE Crown Jewel predictions video for tomorrow's Crown Jewel event, taking place at taking place in Saudi Arabia. So let's get right into it. Of course, there are a couple of big news. Well, there are a couple of news bits for this show tomorrow. Of course, this show happens tomorrow on the WWE Network. So the first bit of news, earlier this week, it was reported that Renee Young has been cleared to be a part of the commentary team for tomorrow's Crown Jewel event, which is a real big step, considering that the last time that WWE was in Saudi Arabia, there were no women on that show, which was, I believe, the Greatest Royal Rumble. So this is a huge opportunity for Renee Young, a big time moment for her. So a big congrats to her for being able to be a part of the commentary team for this show. Another bit of news is that Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, the United States champion, have been brought out to Saudi Arabia for tomorrow's event. Neither one of them are scheduled for this to have matches on this show tomorrow, but they were brought out. So they were brought out to Saudi Arabia with the rest of the crew. So that'll be interesting to see what happens as far as what those two are going to do on this show. Another bit of news is that, according to rumors online going around, there is a rumor that WWE is secretly advertising Hulk Hogan as the host of this event. I don't know how much of truth there is to this rumor, but it is a rumor going around that apparently WWE is secretly advertising Hulk Hogan as and there has been reports online that I read that Hulk Hogan will be at Crown Jewel tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. If he does, that's then fine. But it is what it is. So we'll have to wait and see if it is true that he is going to be at Crown Jewel. We'll have to wait and see what happens and what he does at that event tomorrow. So moving on into the predictions, we have, of course, the Best in the World tournament, World Cup tournament. I honestly, in my opinion, I think of this as a Raw versus SmackDown tournament, not a World Cup tournament. But this is just WWE's way of putting it as, the WWE World Cup tournament to find out who is the best in the world. It's like, really? Why don't you just say who's the best in the WWE? But we have 4 superstars from Raw, 4 superstars from SmackDown. On the Raw side of things, we're going to see Bobby Lashley take on Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins. This one I think is going to be a good one. Both guys, you have the power and strength and agility of Lashley against the speed and cunningness of Seth Rollins. Who do I see walking out the victor? I see Lio Rush playing, if he's there in Lashley's corner, I see him playing some kind of role if Lashley wins. But I'm going to say Seth Rollins moves on in the tournament. So that's my official pick. I think Seth walks out with the victory in that one. In the second Raw match for the Raw side, it's going to be Dolph Ziggler, who will probably have Drew McIntyre in his corner, taking on Olympic gold medalist and WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. This one is tough because either one of these guys, if either Seth or Bob or Lashley win, they're going to have to face one of these two. And I think Lashley versus Angle, Seth versus Angle would be good. We've seen how good of matches Seth and Dolph have had, so that could be an interesting matchup there. And of course, if Dolph wins and Lashley wins, then that would be a good match there. So since I said Seth Rollins was my prediction to win his match against Lashley, I'll say Kurt. I'll go with Kurt Angle. I think that even though, sorry guys, I think that Kurt could, will probably walk out victorious over Dolph, even though he'll probably have a tough time, and because Dolph will not be a pushover. So, but I think Kurt walks out the victor in that one. Over on the SmackDown side of things, we have Randy Orton taking on Rey Mysterio. We've seen these two battle in the past before Rey came back. So, and their matches have been pretty decent. Who do I see winning? I want to say Rey Mysterio, but this is Randy Orton. So, I think Randy walks out with the W tomorrow over Rey Mysterio. That brings us to the second match from the SmackDown side of the tournament, with it being Jeff Hardy taking on the A-lister, The Miz. Now this one, you know what? I'm not even gonna go into a long story about this one. I'm gonna say that Jeff Hardy walks out victorious tomorrow. But it could go either way. But I'm gonna go with Jeff Hardy to walk out with the W. Then that brings us to the semifinals. I think if I said Kurt Angle and Seth Rollins for the Raw side, I think that's going to be a good match if that happens. But I do see Seth winning I think it's going to be a close one, but I think Seth will pull it out. And then on the SmackDown side, with me picking Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy, I'm going to say Randy Orton walks out with the W on that one. And then it comes down to Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. And given their history in the past, I think this is going to be a good one. And with the little added incentive for the SmackDown side, that whoever makes it to the finals and they lose, they won't have a home on SmackDown Live. That, according to Shane McMahon, who told all four of those guys on SmackDown this past Tuesday, that if one of you makes it to the finals and you lose, you're done. You might as well just go crawl to Monday Night Raw, because you won't have a home on SmackDown Live. So that kind of adds a little incentive. And I think, in my prediction, I'm going to go with Randy Orton to win the entire thing. That's going to be my prediction. I think Randy wins the entire tournament, so that's my official pick. Now we move on. We have the New Day challenging the Bar for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It's going to be an even playing field now, because you're going to have two members of the New Day in the ring. You're going to have Cesaro and Sheamus. But you're going to have the third member of the New Day, whoever that may be, whichever the two out of the three are going to be defending the championships. You're going to have that third guy on the outside, but you're also going to have the Big Show, who will probably be in the Bar's corner, Sheamus and Cesaro. So that'll even the playing field a little bit. That'll even the playing field. My official prediction for this one, this is going to be a tough one, because both teams very good. Work very well together. But you know what? Honestly, I have nothing against the New Day, but I think that Sheamus and Cesaro will walk out the tag team champions still. So that's my official prediction for that match. We have the WWE Championship on the line in a new match now. AJ Styles will still be defending that championship at Crown Jewel tomorrow. But this time he will not be defending it against Daniel Bryan. We saw that match on SmackDown last Tuesday. He will now be defending it against his mortal enemy, Samoa Joe. Now, this one is the fourth match in the series, and Joe has not won the championship in either the last three matches, but I do think it's getting close to AJ's title reign being a year, I believe it is. He won the title last year. I think Samoa Joe this time will walk out. I think fourth time is the charm for Samoa Joe. I think he walks out the new WWE Champion tomorrow. I'm trying to see what else we have on the show tomorrow. We have, the battle for the vacant WWE Universal Championship. It is going to be Braun Strowman facing Brock Lesnar. This one came about because of Roman Reigns announcing last week in a very emotional moment of Monday Night Raw, announcing that he would have to relinquish the Universal Championship due to having to battle leukemia, which is a sad and is not a very happy feeling and not a very funny thing for anyone that has dealt with that. I personally have had a family member had to deal with that when they were younger, and it's not a funny thing. So my prayers go out to Roman that he beats this and comes back and comes back better than ever. So, but because of that, because of the announcement last week, because of that, it is now going to be Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. Like I said, this was originally supposed to be a triple threat involving Roman, but now it is one-on-one for the vacant Universal Championship. And I am praying to God, I am hoping and praying that WWE makes the right decision and puts the championship on Strowman tomorrow. We do not need to see Lesnar winning the championship, even though 9 out of 10 times that will probably happen. Lesnar will walk out victorious tomorrow and become once again Universal Champion. I am hoping and praying that Strowman wins tomorrow at Crown Jewel and wins the Universal Championship. So that's my official prediction for that one, which brings us to the first time ever, to wrap up this video, the first time ever tag team match between the Brothers of Destruction and D-Generation X. We've seen what's been going on the last couple of weeks and months, and the last couple of weeks involving these two teams. The first time ever. I'm going to say Brothers of Destruction all the way. I'm a fan of both teams, of DX and, Undertaker and Kane. This is going to be Shawn Michaels' return to the ring for the first time in 8 years, coming out of retirement for this match, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think that The Undertaker and Kane walk out victorious tomorrow. I could be wrong, but that's my official prediction for that match. So, I'm trying to think if there's any other matches that I might have missed. If so, I'll talk about them in my review. But with that being said, to wrap up this video, if you guys out there are planning on watching WWE Crown Jewel tomorrow, let me know what you guys think is going to happen in the comments below. And who do you guys see walking out winners tomorrow? So with that being said, this has been my WWE Crown Jewel predictions video. As always, I am Brian, and thank you for watching.